For me, it's always just been about curiosity, to be honest. Growth mindset is rooted in curiosity. It's not when things are optimistic and exciting and all the fun stuff we love to talk about, right? So Tesla went up 300% last year. Okay, great. You know, they're in phenomenal growth phase. But actually, I think growth mindset has to be rooted in overcoming challenges. It's how do you navigate difficulty, challenges, circumstances that are atypical and come out stronger from it. So take Motorola, for example. I believe it was 97, and Motorola was the largest seller of mobile phone handsets. And then Nokia took over, and now obviously those two are like completely gone companies. But interestingly, fast forward today, Motorola Solution, they split into two different divisions. One I think was focused more on the consumer side, but the solutions business is now one of the largest businesses providing telecommunication services, products, and offerings to government entities. There's a lot you can learn from that, from a growth mindset perspective, because they overcame a challenge, an obstacle that could have made them obsolete, but became stronger and are now dominating a segment in the market that perhaps many people would say if they had got their act together, they should be alongside the likes of Apple and Samsung. You can't have growth mindset, again, in my opinion, without the essence of sustainability, because the reality is trees don't grow to the sky. And so you have to ensure that whatever you put in place, the disciplines, the practices, the solutions, the models, are resilient. And it's not just exciting, yes, we grew 300% last year, or we have found a new way to solve X and Y problem. One of the key metric for growth mindset test is how many things do you have a different view about today? Because if you still have the same view about a lot of things, then you're not really growing. That's a measure, right? How many things last year do you feel differently about this year? I'm rethinking how I'm doing it. I am challenging the status quo. And I'm positioning myself to be a lot more resilient, right? So that when the challenges come and the difficulties come, then it's easier to sort of navigate that. It's paramount for me because everything I do, I take that approach to it. I'm committed, for example, to lifelong learning, right? Like every single year I do some type of executive training, a course. And in some cases I redo them because I want to see how the thinking has evolved since the last time I did it. I'm committed from a personal development perspective, commitment to lifelong learning and driving towards that and challenging yourself about what you know or what you think you know and learning from others and getting more perspective. But I think it's also applicable in my day job. Oh, that makes sense. Well, that doesn't make that much sense. Let's try that. Let's test that. Let's innovate. Let's iterate. And let's see where we land. And when you land somewhere that we all go, we didn't think about that. That's amazing. That's a win, right? That's it's not very often it happens because people kind of lean on you when you're an advisor or consultants to have all the answers. But actually, I think co-created answers are and solutions are the best outcomes. A global mindset for me is rooted in collaboration, right? Diversity, of course, right? And when I say diversity, I don't just mean diversity in a traditional way that a lot of people talk about it, which is, you know, around race or gender, et cetera, et cetera. Diversity of thought, right? Of ways of solving problems. There are data points and statistics that show that diverse teams outperform always, right? So that's the global mindset perspective. So it's diversity, it's cross-border, it's integration, right, of ideas and coming together with solution. And then you got a growth mindset, which is rooted in some of the stuff we've already talked about, resilience, right? Rethinking solutions and approaches to solving challenges. It not just being about optimism and hurrahs and let's all go sing kumbaya, right? It's about when we hit that sticky patch, how do we sort of get through it? And I think that synergy of those two things is really powerful. So a question is, are you building diverse teams? And what is the criteria of diversity for you? These are the intersects of those two worlds, right? Or when you think about investing, are you investing with a mindset of international or just local, right? When you think about mentorship or mentoring people, what is the scope of that influence and who needs what and when? A global mindset, which is rooted in all the stuff that I talked about, a growth mindset, which is rooted in all that stuff as well, coming together allows you to, I believe, create unique and sustainable outcomes that are different from just following a traditional route. Concepts that are perhaps new or different, but actually could lead to new ways of delivering value.